Queen Elizabeth advised Prince Harry to wait a year before marrying Meghan Markle, according to a new biography. Although the future Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, was initially welcomed into royal circles following the start of her relationship with Prince Harry, his grandmother Elizabeth reportedly expressed reservations. This is according to a new biography of the late Queen by Hugo Vickers. Well, let's get reaction from Charlotte Griffiths. Now, Charlotte, what do you make of this?
Well, I remember at the time, everyone that asked Harry to slow down, including his best friend Tom Inskip, Prince William, and now we find out the Queen, who told Harry to slow down, were immediately cut off. I think he even said to Tom Inskip, "You're dead to me," or something like that. He just was not in the mood to hear it. He didn't want anyone to tell him to slow down. And even the Queen, whose opinion is so valued by the entire country, was disregarded. But of course, I think she was advising him exactly the right thing. I mean, if he'd just given it a year or two. And I think he's starting to wake up to it now.
Imagine, if you will, a B-list Hollywood actress with a lifestyle blog and a penchant for expensive green juice, staring at a vision board. Most people put buy a house or get a dog on theirs. Meghan Markle seemingly put remodel the British monarchy. It's the plot of a rom-com that turned into a political thriller overnight. We've all heard the love at first sight story, but what if the glass slipper was actually a meticulously placed trap? Today, we are diving into the alleged masterclass of social climbing that makes The Crown look like a children's bedtime story. Was it a whirlwind romance? Or was Harry simply the final boss in a very long game of celebrity chess? Before we dismantle the fairy tale, do me a massive favor. If you're enjoying this deep dive into the royal rabbit hole, hit that subscribe button. Over 92% of you lovely viewers haven't joined the family yet, and honestly, it's free, it takes a second, and it means the world to us. Done it? Brilliant.
I think he's starting to wake up to how quickly he rushed into it.
And Tom Bower's devastating new book about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry and Meghan, reveals that the Queen, Camilla, took the view that Meghan had brainwashed Harry, and it seems like she'd convinced him that they needed to marry, and they needed to marry quickly.
Yes, I wonder if it's because she's slightly older than him and she wants to have babies, and he was absolutely determined to have a family. That was the one thing missing in his life at the time, and he was really, really lonely. I do remember how lonely he was. He was just desperate to start a family. And she, being, I think, 2 or 3 years older than him, may have just said, come on, let's just do it, let's crack on. And then the other thing that's quite funny is that posh people get married 6 months after they get engaged. So they couldn't really wait a year because it's just not what the aristos do. So once they got engaged...
Surgery. Meghan didn't just enter Harry's life, she became his entire atmosphere. It's a classic tactic, create a us against the world bubble so thick that even the Queen's corgis couldn't bark their way through it. She isolated the asset. By the time the royal family realized what was happening, the engagement photos were already being airbrushed. It wasn't just love, it was a total brand takeover. But wait, the plot thickens faster than a bowl of royal porridge. To keep a man like Harry, you have to convince him that he's the hero of a story he didn't know he was in. Enter the modernizer angle. Meghan didn't just want to be a duchess, she wanted to be a global icon. When the British press, who, let's be honest, can be more vicious than a Hunger Games arena, started their usual scrutiny, it was the perfect catalyst. She didn't just endure it, she used it as proof that the institution was the villain. It's a brilliant move. If you can't fit into the palace, convince the prince that the palace is a prison and you're the only one with the key. Now, we have to look at the endgame. The Megxit wasn't a panicked retreat, it was a strategic pivot. They traded the grey skies of London for the sunshine of Montecito, and royal duties for Netflix deals. She didn't just marry a prince, she acquired a title, a global platform, and a husband who now views his own family through the lens of a Hollywood script. It's the ultimate failing upwards, except she didn't fail at all. She played the game, captured the king's son, and then convinced him to flip the board over. Whether you call it love or the greatest hustle of the century, you have to admit, the girl has got talent. Thank you ever so much for watching.